Hello and welcome to another California Psychics free live reading. I am your host for today's live reading, and we are joined by our fantastic fan favorite Psychic Rika. How are you doing today, Rika?
Hi, everyone. I'm great. It's a beautiful day. It's a great end of October. We're here at the end of the
I
year.
know
It's
the new of the
shocking.
veil is almost upon
Happy
us.
Halloween.
All right, before we get started, and I do see a bunch of questions already going in the chat if you are ready, Rika. But before, I want to list off a few bits of information for our audience. If you see that code scrolling along the bottom of your screen and you are a new customer with us with California Psychics, you can use that code RIKA5 to get $5 off your very first customer package with us to get a one-on-one reading today after the live stream. So once you get a preview of Psychic Rika's abilities today, you can use that $5 credit to get a reading with her right after the live stream. And if you're wanting to find out her exact schedule to get a reading later in the week, we'll be able to shout that out later in the stream. Lastly, before we get started, I do want to list off a few ground rules for questions. We will not be able to answer any legal or medical questions today. For medical, this can include treatments, medications, diagnoses, and pregnancy questions. And for legal, this can include court cases, custody battles, and just general court decisions. If you do ask about another person, please make sure you include just their first name, but this does allow Rika to connect faster and more accurately answer your question today during the free live reading. But without any further ado, I do see lots of questions coming in, Rika. So if you're ready to go, we can get started.
I am 100% ready. I'm ready. There's one name I've already written down. Let's see if how quickly it comes up. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
All right, let's get it. Our first one is going to be from Amber, who is asking about Greg when it comes to love. Do you see Greg returning to Amber or not?
Okay, let's take an exhale together. And we're going to listen. That's the state of open. We're going to hear active listening about Greg and Amber. It's a lot of work. I think, Amber, you guys can come back together, and you maybe have already been on and off. Also, too, Amber, if you're listening, and Carson, if you're inclined this way to figure out people can respond, I get a medical energy connected here, so it makes me think, is one of you in the medical industry or someone in your family, just to root us in fact. Sometimes they want to give me a fact about you before they answer, so you understand we're talking. It's like you guys can get back together. You could get back together in December. They literally say it could happen in 30 days or less. It could happen, December 2nd's in my mind. It could happen immediately. Maybe it'll take till January. And they say when the times are like that, they're evolving and they're not like, it could happen then or it could happen then. It means that like one or both parties kind of needs to grow up in a certain way. A card that would go with this is called the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is this indecision card. It's like what's going to go on. I feel like Amber is actually basing her decision on what she thinks he will do. And I'm kind of encouraged for Amber to make her own decision about herself and what kind of relationship she wants to have. And when I say that, I hear Amber's mind go, well, if that's the case, well, then I want my stuff now and I don't want to wait. So you may love this guy, but part of me makes me think that like you're waiting in a passive state. The reason why it's going to be a lot of work, I think you come back together, but it feels like this is so much work. And I feel like relationships that are just constantly having to work on them over and over, and then we take a break, and then we come back and we work on them, and we take a break. They're never going to go anywhere. That both of you are dealing with the karma of just working on stuff, but not necessarily living your happiness. So I think the way that you handle this situation is you immediately get connected back to your power and you say, okay, what am I looking for in my life? How do I want to live? And really pray for the wisdom to live that way. And that way, if it's Greg or someone else, you'll know. But when Greg comes back, you'll be able to see it, feel it, know it with your own intuition and wisdom about like, you know what? I don't think Greg has really changed. It looks like it's going to be the same headache it was before. And I'm not his nurse. I don't know why I want to keep talking like that. And then you might decide, you know what? Billy over there or Dee over there is more attractive, because I do think there's someone else in your environment, Amber, that's already more attractive. In fact, there could be 2 or 3 different guys that are attractive, which makes me think that you don't have to do any of your life's mission kind of like working out that beautiful heart of yours in domesticity. You can work out that beautiful heart as your work in the world, and your relationship can be more about you getting what you want, which to me is family. You look like a person that will be married with children, so maybe you already have those kids. But that's my answer. The answer is, yeah, Greg will come back, but I think you need to pray to get ready to know if you want it or not, because it seems like so much work. You can feel my headache. All right, that's the answer.
That is an amazing answer, Rika. Hopefully this resonated with you, by the way, Amber. And please let us know in the chat if it does. We'll maybe revisit again. One from Mary Ann now. Ken and I have been enjoying our connection for some months now. Does Ken see me as his future long-term friend and romantic partner? And any timelines would much be appreciated.
For that enjoyment word really kind of got me like all woo in my body. And I don't know why. I guess today, like we sometimes do at the end, but I feel like I want to pick a card for you. I'm just going to intermix it today. For some reason, I feel this way. The answer is yes before I get the card. Let's see how it helps me. Okay, so I'll show you the card in just a second. Well, actually, I'll show you now. You got the Princess of Swords, and you got the Tower. So this is a situation where the answer is yes. I think Ken definitely sees you as a long-term friend, more than that, romantic partner. I do think that would be marriage. Let's say you're going to say, but we're already married. You know, these things happen. I still think that the situation would happen, that you guys would find yourself together. I think the timeline is really about you clearing out your heart right now. These cards of Princess of Swords and Tower let us know that you may still be fighting through some mental debris that you've had from past relationships, but it's really time to let go of the story that you have in your head, the mental story about how love works and how it doesn't work. Like you might be a one-sided story, like men always do this to me, or this idea that things are always happening, but you need to cut that mental cord. This relationship is not like the others. In fact, this relationship is the Tower, which would take the structure down of every past relationship you ever had, thank goodness, crumble it to the ground, and a new one could rise up. So I want to tell you, January is a time frame for a breakthrough for you. I get a breakthrough before January 15th. It can always happen sooner. Mr. Ken's intentions, here I go, are or to be with you, to be with you, to marry you. I think the marriage energy would come in next summer, maybe April to June. That might get talked about more. It could be talked about sooner. Something with his mother is extremely important here, Marianne. And you may be able to resonate with that. Would either mean his mother is past, watching over, or his mother's alive. And part of his maybe obstacle for breaking free in love would be that mother connection. But I would say that in this situation, like all the powers to cut down the mental schism, old structures, they're really working to come down with you guys. And then you get the Queen of Cups, which lets us know that you've ascended, right? The Queen of Cups is someone that finally gets to be with her beloved and with no obstacle. So I want you to forgive yourself from 5 or 6 years ago, Marianne. That's what I'm hearing. You need to forgive yourself from the past. And I really want you, it says you already are. She says she's definitely praying for this. She definitely loves it. She definitely wants him to be the one. They say yes, and then they put you near a water. It makes me wonder how close to the water you guys are, whether it be a lake, a pond, or a beach, or any kind of body of water. Hopefully it's more than a swimming pool. And that either you vacation together, or you will, or you live near it, or you'll be proposed there. You can be with this for the rest of your life if you'll allow it. If you'll allow it. How do we allow it? We have to clear the mind. It can't be the same old story and get a new one. You can't get a same new story when you have the same old one. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so take down the Tower. I love the Tower. The Tower, after the Tower comes the Star. Yes. And the Star is you know all about it, Carson. Yay. Yeah, they told me Carson was very mystical, by the way. So I think it's genuine and true. I think he's got like a direct connect to some like planets, some stars, solar system. Anyway, back to Marianne. So the Star card comes after the Tower, and the Star card is representation of the people that are able to break stubbornness, break the consciousness of the world, the stubbornness, and get the light consciousness. And so let's get through that Tower, honey. Yeah, let's make him your husband. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And if you're ever at a loss, say, make that freaking prediction come true. Shake your fist. Let's go, Marianne. Let's do it. Ken loves you. Will you let it? I know you will.
All right. That was an amazing answer, Rika. And I do want to remind everybody, whenever you get a reading with Rika, you're always going to learn something new about yourself, and along with the answers that she's going to let you let you know.
Yeah.
So with about 15 minutes into our live stream, I do want to shout out how you get a reading with Psychic Rika, because I've enjoyed this little preview of her abilities today. When you go to CaliforniaPsychics.com, there's a search bar on the upper right. You can type in Psychic Rika. If you don't feel like doing that, there is a link in the description of the live stream you are watching right now. If you click that, it will pull up Psychic Rika's profile on California Psychics. It has the ability to book an appointment. You can hop right in the queue or even send an offline message, which is just like sending a direct message on social media. The only people who see it are you and Rika. So it's very private. But for Rika, for those who just want to hear you say it, when's the next time you're going to be online, and what's your regular schedule looking like for those who want to get a reading with you?
Yeah, I'm also a chatter, and Carson's right. Like, I can't just answer the question. I mean, I can answer it yes or no, but the truth, it's your life. So I want to help you get responsible so you live your outcome. And that's really the bottom line for me, your happiness. I work Monday through Thursday. My hours, I've tried to fluctuate, but they just won't. This is my schedule. It always comes back to this. I work from 12 to 7 on Mondays and 12 to 6 Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This week is a Facebook Live. I work an extra hour on Wednesday morning because this is taking up one of my hours. So I'll be back on after this from 4 to 7 this evening. That is Pacific Standard Time. Okay, our names are freaking me out. Is that what's next, Carson? Did you already pick it?
Yes, I already did. It went from Rhonda.
I knew it.
So as you can see, Rika is one of our fan favorites and one of our top ones. So Rika, you once told me that Randy and I were each other's forever. Do you still see this as true, or do you possibly even say someone else is out there for me?
Okay. Off the bat, they just wanted me to tell you that there's always someone else. Like, they want me to first, and I'm not going to take Randy away yet. Like, I'm going to go back to him, and I think that we can keep that. Okay. But I also am getting to some different impressions, like, to help you. So I hear that, like, you really can have someone else. They say that where Rhonda's headed in the future is really about her fulfilling her mission in relationship. Like, this is where she's going. This is part of her life's journey. And so it has to happen. So you go through and say, does Randy, make up the boxes? Let's say you're going to respond to me, well, I like the idea of Randy, but Randy hasn't called me, in like a month, or Randy's not around, or he doesn't get it together, or he's up and down. I got this esoteric feeling with you, Rhonda, that you are deferring your prayer to these esoteric realms, like twin flame, or these places which are enjoyable to talk about. But when it all comes down to it, the plane that you're living on is this plane, earthly plane, which is the plane of life and death. And so yes, we have twin flames, things like that. But if you forgo the actual living proof and experience for these esoteric things, it can get complicated. It can be like, well, if he's my twin flame or my soulmate, how come it's so difficult? That's the question that you take to your soul and say, I need the wisdom. If I'm going to refer to this person, okay, she says they got it. She somehow something understood here. So they go the next beat. Okay, that was enough of that. Okay, February. Yes, Randy. Let me see where Randy's at in her life. They talked about like a couple of weeks ago. They make me think you were in connection with him. And if you were not in connection with him, then you should be momentarily. I really hope November 5th is a breakthrough, in November, around Thanksgiving. Yeah, you can have him, Rhonda, but you got to get off this idea that it's in his mind and not yours, right? You're the other half of the story. He's not the only part of this story. Like, we can't just defer it always to them and when they're going to do it. He's too depressing. I feel like I hear her as she's going. Then we go back to the beginning, what I said in the beginning with Rhonda. I want you to choose a non-obstacle object. Like, I want you to pick a love. I want your prayer to be, from this moment forward, I pick a love that has no obstacles. I let go of the obstacle between me and my love. I let go of the barrier between me and my love. And then a D name comes up, Miss Rhonda, a D. If you're listening, which I feel like you might be, or the way it's coming through will understand later. I really need you to pick a side. Wow. So it's either this or something better. If you're ready to move on, then we let Randy go. We wouldn't ask about him again. If that prediction to come true will come true, even if you don't ask about it. And a dad energy is connected to you, honey. My answer is, yeah, you can have Randy, but we got to take it out of the esoteric realm. This feels a little jumpy, but I think it's because of the indecision in your mind. I think Randy's obstacle for you being the one is probably like either a past marriage of his or a marriage. I think the other obstacle in Randy's situation is he's got a defeatist attitude when it comes to love, like a little bit of a victim, or a card, indolence. The Eight of Cups. I guess tarots are coming to my mind today. The Eight of Cups is his problem. Look that up. You can have them. Let's take it. Let's go. The timing is going up and down. They go November. They say it'll be cemented by February. This is such an up and down situation. Somebody has to make a decision. You have to make a decision.
Yeah. Sometimes it just has to commit, you know? All right. Our next question is going to be more mediumship oriented, if that is okay with you.
Jay, I'm about to ask about a Jay. I was like, well, where's the Jay? Literally, I was going to say Jay right before you pulled it up with Jessica.
Alexis is struggling with her love life, but she is mainly missing her mother, Jessica, who has passed away.
Okay.
Does Jessica have any messages for Alexis?
The first thing that Jessica says to me, and again, I recognize we may or may not get confirmation, so I just have to say it and trust. I heard May. So either they want me to go to the month of May or March, and that's significant to you or your mom or something in your family, even if it turns out to be a dad or a brother. Like the May is important. You said May, or May is the name of somebody. The message she wants to give to you is this. She goes to an image. She puts you in a wedding dress immediately, honey. She says you should pray to get married and go to like Tulum or Mexico, which sounds like a honeymoon, but maybe get married there. She says that the wedding vision that I see in my mind is without a doubt happening in less than 2 years. That's down the aisle. And if you're struggling now, that may be actually relatively quick. She says it's going to happen. You can't worry. Please don't give up. We're working for this for the year of 25 for you. It's someone you know. It's someone you know. They say this is someone you know. Is someone that you've had a past with, which to my mind lingers on. It could be one of those up and downs, and now we're finally ready. It's coming together through mother and a male figure connected. I think the male figure may also be on the other side. She makes me want to say the letter B, like Bruce or Bob or Barbara or Brian, or the letter B. Okay. You can always later, when you listen to this, put verifications in your own question comments so other people could know if it's true. B could stand for that which I'm not allowed to talk about, which we can spell it, which has 2 B's, but that's as far as I'll go to make it so you understand what I'm saying. But this is the thing, I'm sorry what happened a year ago, honey. I'm sorry what happened a year and a half ago. And I know it's so sad, but the thing is that sometimes we have to cry about the past while we bring the light of the future. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be struggling, but you have to recognize the only way to overcome the struggle is to invite the light. Sometimes the light lingers around the struggle, like you're in a room and there's sadness in the corner and light walks in and, the sadness isn't talking to the light yet, but eventually the light and sadness commingle and we can light up the whole place. And you can't give up. You have to forgive. You have to forgive. Your mom goes to your shoes right now and she makes me think about tying your shoes. So either she wants to go with the tennis shoes or even that nursing energy from before is coming back again, which just could mean that there's simultaneities of situations here. But she goes to your shoes. So either you have new shoes, something about your shoes, she's into your shoes. So it could mean she's out with a walk. You'll figure that out. And she loves you. And then something's hanging of hers in your home. I don't want to quite go to the closet, but I could because I feel it might be more of a tapestry or something closer to the kitchen. Okay, but she's talking about something hanging. Of course, that could even be an apron. She's trying to get to you as much as she can. You always see her. She says I should mention a unicorn. Now, I'm not one to mention anything typical, like unicorns, butterflies, rainbows, things like that. I love these symbologies, but I like other specifics, more just because I think there's so much more personal information to give people. But she says I talk about a unicorn and you can't give up and you're a fairy tale princess and your mother loves you very much. She's talking about when you're 6 or 7 years old and that your dreams will come true.
All right. Another amazing answer, Rika. We're going to go real quick to YouTube. And also we hope that answer resonated with you. I didn't mean to say that, but one from Debbie. Will Rob, another R, as you've called out, will Rob and I mend this big gap from a major fight and will we get back together? I know I still care deeply for him, but this seems like a very big wound.
I'm also hearing the name like George or G or J really strong. Okay, so that's maybe in the future. Also, just a shout out. I'm feeling a energy which is not connected to Debbie here at all, but an energy of a man that was killed by a gun, suicide. And so that person needs to hear that. There's probably more than one listening with that situation. F Debbie, that resonates with you or Rob in any way, some sort of like tragic death, then there's also that. Here we go. Okay, what they're showing right now around Rob is airplanes. So that could either mean that he's connected to the aviation industry, or there's people that were part of that, such as the war or military, or there's a distance between the two of you as far as location and not just emotion. I hear that you can mend, but I'm hearing, believe it or not, like in your mind more than his, that you don't want to, or he thinks you don't want to, or you want to, but you're saying no to yourself over and over because you, in his mind too much, thinking something about him. Like it may be, yeah. They said to give up the mind of no. Like, I want to be like, oh, you can reconcile. I want to give you dates and everything. But they're saying that her mind says no. Debbie's mind is no. Let me see why Debbie's mind is no. I think it's because it's painful. And then they mention an L name to try to help us reroute in fact. L like Larry or Louie or Lily. Okay. She can have it. She doesn't seem to understand how. So I want to explain to you what a how is when it comes to predictions being fulfilled. A how is not like getting a roadmap on Sunday at 2 to go just like this. The how is usually the ability to actually connect directly to the outcome of yes. Yes, by December 25th, they said. Okay, so they're breaking in as I'm trying to explain. They say she sure can. She sure can have a reconciliation between Christmas and January 2nd. She absolutely can. The problem between people and their outcomes are always your senses. One of your senses or more is not able to comprehend, get in alignment or attunement. I would clear those senses out, and I would pray every day that all your sensory system goes towards the yes. We can help you, honey. We can help you. Even if it's been 5 years. I mean, I don't know how that big that is, but they say a major 5. They talk about September. I don't know if you spoke in September. It doesn't matter how long. So if you're going to be wanting this, it's back to similar what they were saying. Like, you really have to take the no away. Because if he's not capable and the unit, and your connection to your own life is not capable, then how do things happen, right? I would rather have neutral than a no. I'd rather the mind be neutral, not neither yes or no, but agreement to say, I'm getting the prediction that we can be together. Rather than try to understand it, let me connect to it. Because understanding does not necessarily do anything. The thing that makes prayers answered is always an action. Why? Because we live in the physical world.
Exactly.
And you have to connect. So, yeah, your dad loves you a lot, Debbie. A lot.
Man, we have been hitting some home runs here, Rika. Your answers today have been really on point. I can tell they're resonating.
I don't know.
So I want to keep the ball rolling. So our next question is going to be love related, one from Carrie. But again, great answers again, Rika, by the way. But Carrie is asking, I want to know, do you feel the energy stronger between Andy or Dale? Which one should I choose?
Probably because I'm a girl and we've lived in a world where it's always been men having two choices. I always love a girl that has two choices. All right. Here we go, honey. Dale. 100% Dale. Dale. Dale is easier, lighter, less complicated. I guess the question should be, does Carrie want lightness with love or things that are just heavy? I don't know. Dale. My answer is Dale.
All right. Very quick and to the point. Our next question is going to be another love-related question. There are two questions here, but we'll try to focus on one. What is the status of my relationship with Drexel? Angela asks. Are we getting back together soon? And then another question is, do you foresee a job promotion in Angela's future?
I don't know if I should say this or not, but Drexel is the street I grew up on. Here we go, babe. What is the status? Okay, so first off, we know the status is she doesn't know the status, right?
Yes.
So no status. Let's see. Status is Drexel is working on it. And I think he needs like 30 more days. I believe in Drexel. I believe in this man's ability to work his stuff out. It's your choice if you want to be with someone that's got to work stuff out. Remember, if you're going to be with someone that's got things to work out before it can become permanent, that's your choice. And you can't judge the scene you come in on and qualify like what you do. Like if you're going to choose to be alongside someone while they work it out, you can't then like 3 days later go, well, what the heck's going on? I mean, there's this thing he's working out. Yeah, you already know because you already knew that. So if you don't want to be next to someone that's working stuff out, wait. Your prediction will still come true. I think he needs 30 days. I think this guy loves you. I hope you guys stay together forever. I feel really good, available energy for you. And yes, on the promotion, I would say that promotion's in 2 months. 2 months.
All right.
But yes, Drexel, you guys, I hope you make it to marriage. I really do. I really hope we will recognize the times we're in so you can move forward and not begrudge the time you're in for the future.
All right. Our next question is going to be from Jess. And actually, right before we get into Jess's question, which I already have saved, I do want to remind everybody that if you are enjoying the live stream, go ahead and give us a like, a subscribe. And so that way you'll be able to get notified the next time we do these live readings. But if you're wanting to continue the energy today, we have about we're about halfway through, so another 30 minutes or so, and we will be offline. But if you're wanting to continue the energy and the live reading today, you'll be able to do so when you go to CaliforniaPsychics.com. When you go to CaliforniaPsychics.com, there's a search bar in the top right, and you'll be able to type in Psychic Rika, and that's who you're going to want to get a reading with today, especially if you are a new customer with us. You can use that promo code RIKA5 to get $5 off your very first reading with us. So if you don't feel like doing all of that, you can click the link in the description of the live stream you're watching right now. It will pull up Psychic Rika's profile on CaliforniaPsychics.com. You'll have the ability to book an appointment with her, to hop straight into the queue to wait for the call right after this live stream today, or you can send an offline message, which is just like sending a private message on social media. And the only people who see it are you and Rika, so it's very private. But Rika, for those who just want to hear you say it, when's the very next time you're going to be online and your regular schedule for those who are just wanting to get that reading with you?
I will be back on 5 minutes after this Facebook Live for 3 hours. And then I will work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week from 12 to 6. And unless it's a Facebook Live week, I work Mondays 12 to 7 and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday 12 to 6. And even though sometimes I try to rearrange it, it goes back to this. Also, sometimes now I've been getting on, for like 45 minutes Friday morning. If you catch me, you might get through. So sometimes I've been waking up, and that's like at 5 a.m.
All right. So if you're an early bird, you might have the chance to find Rika up in the morning, but also you have the ability to book an appointment as well. But for those who are wanting to continue,
my chatter too, you can chat. You can send me a note, and I'll get on to chat even if I'm not on the phone.
Yeah, if she's connecting the right, or if she's getting the right type of energy, she'll hop on right then, and you can continue the chat all right from our website. Once again, CaliforniaPsychics.com. And if you're wanting to get a reading with her, go quick because her queue fills up right after this live very, very quickly. So next question is from Jess. I don't want to waste any more time. Hello to the both of us. Always a good time with us. And very excited to have you here as well, Jess. Our family has always been going through so many changes lately, she says. And I'm wondering if my grandfather, Jack, who has always been our rock, has any messages for us.
Okay, well, first off, I was writing down a couple of letters, and I did write down the J. I put down Johnny, but still there's a Jess and a Jack here, so just trying to get me to a strong J. The message is back to the G, honey. Okay, let's listen. Let's see what the message is. Poor family. Okay. I feel that she's really being honest about the family going through some real big changes. I don't know if your grandpa is trying to show me this image or if it's someone else, and I'm not trying to do a medical reading right now. But it made me wonder if something with your dad or someone, is not well right now in the family, which could be happening without giving a medical reading. And the message, though, coming through to me, because I just feel like there's a sickness, okay? The message coming through to me is that, what we really have to do in this life before we leave it is we really have to forgive. We really have to forgive. We have to forgive. I feel like I need to forgive the dad here. I feel like we need to forgive, or grandpa is trying, or the child of Grandpa Jack needs to accept forgiveness of this scene. Like, we have to forgive human nature, people. Okay, they say the money's coming back. You're not going to lose the money. They also talk about a price of property. They talk about a property. Okay, property. Either you keep the property, or the property, if it's in the family, we get to keep it. Something about the bank and money and property. It's all going to work out. It also makes me wonder about a business. They went from a very kind of forgiveness thing to this other kind of like absolute stuff. The message is like, you're a rock, Jess. You are the rock. And I think you have the right idea. And I know you know how to put your family back together, but it doesn't mean that you are a martyr. And it doesn't mean that you don't need care, or that you may be helping out people that sometimes don't deserve it. I hate to say it that way, but if you have any of that feeling like it's always you that's doing everything, like, please accept more love. Also, he is dropping something from the sky for you. Grandpa, like I said before, I'm not typical, but many people do like these kind of like common signs. This one would be a feather, or like a bird, maybe a hummingbird, or like a feather dropping. Also, grandmother loves you. The message is forgiveness. The message is something with real estate and money, and it all working out in your favor. The message is that you are like a rock, but you're not a martyr. Please understand that. Please make sure you take care of yourself. Please remember too that if you're going to be a martyr and then you turn around and it's like nobody loves me, then that just means you're your own double-edged sword. So be careful. And then at letter T, honey, Tom, like Teresa, and T. Obviously, she'll have to get verifications later, but the message is what I said. It's going to repeat it over and over and over again. The other thing Grandpa loves to do is be in the car. Loves to be with you. Something about you in your car. Loves to ride in that car. Loves to have a good time. God, a V name is so strong. I don't know if it's coming next or what, but I want to be Vicky, Victor, Viola. Okay.
Also, no, sorry, I was muted there. But our next question is going to be from Christy. Another relationship related question. She wants to know what to do, or more insight within her relationship with Ken. At the moment, she's feeling a little lost.
Okay. I feel inclined to use a card here. So let's find out. Christy and Ken. The first thing they say before I turn a card, like, I obviously don't really need cards, just sometimes they're really fun, and I say them for a lot of years. The first thing they say is that Christy is processing Ken through a reflection that's 10 years old, which means the way she views him is from the past, like a past situation, has nothing to do with Ken. So you may be viewing him through old lenses. That's the first thing. Also, I think it's very difficult to get readings about the future on people when they tell you that this future is coming, but that future is not tomorrow. That future is inevitably down the line, although many of these futures we could break through for tomorrow. And I feel that it's confusing for you because you're going to get a reading about it, but then when you look at him physically, he's not matching that, and then you get very confused. So you have to find a way how not to like analyze the object. The object is in transition and the object is moving, and so like you don't want to try to like pinpoint a moving object, especially when it's moving in your direction and it's moving to a lightness that you guys can really enjoy each other. And so instead you have to find other ways to like really get verification that your prediction is coming true. You can ask for any kind of sign you want, general or not. You can ask for a wisdom, or that somehow when you do kind of like look at him or what he's not doing, I suppose, you could somehow get some sort of knowing about that. My favorite thing to do to people that are stuck, that don't know how to really handle getting information about someone, they don't know how to like get out of analyzing their mind and how to bring it into their own power. My favorite thing is to demand some sort of proof. I think that every reading comes with proof. If you're getting predictions of what can happen, you should be able to access the proof. Again, we're reading on Earth. We're reading about people that are living and dying. We're reading about a sphere of, phenomena here on Earth. And so there's always proof, and you should seek that proof. Again, proof is more valuable to me. Actual proof is better than theoretical proof any day. So theoretical proof would be this idea of like analyzation or contemplation, or I'm going to look at him and theorize, but then the prediction, and that is avoiding the proof, right? So you can do it, but the main thing that came up was about 10 years ago, hon. You got to figure out what that was. The cards that come up though with you are the Ace of Cups and the Queen of Cups, letting me know that this is the one. The Ace of Cups too is a mirror, is really saying there's so much love in the atmosphere about this. So I really feel that, the biggest problem here with this relationship is that you've been so defeated. It's just sad. Overcoming a sadness. Okay. But I feel like you guys can make it work. Let me get Ken's feelings for you. Let's go. They said 2 months ago something about a baby with you. So I don't know if you wanted to have that or you talked about it. But in my mind, Ken's planning a future with you, or he was. So I do feel distance. So I wonder if this is reconciliation. But, or you feel like he just disappeared. But Ken, the reason why Ken then he's planning the future is that a mistake was made, honey. We made a mistake. There's a mistake made with the two of you back in the spring, end of April, May. I hope you can understand that. And of course, if you want more, we can look at these time spaces, but I encourage you, if there is downtime right now, to use the downtime to truly heal yourself of any negative effects from any man in your whole life immediately, so that you and Ken can enjoy your happy future. We can also pray for him to be healed from his own delusion. I think this guy gets a little heady and can get a little bit project on you.
All right. Our next question is going to be one from Victoria, and we hope this
That was the very first name before we even started. Is Victor, or I want to say Victoria, Vicky. Okay, she arrived.
Hi. Why is my boyfriend Marty staying at work for weeks before coming home? Stays one night and will sometimes go back on call to about 24/7. I don't understand, and he won't say when he's coming home each time. Do you have possibly any more insight, Rika?
Okay, so in order to answer this question, you're going to have to clear your mind out, because you probably are believing something. I think no one has to be psychic to know what you're thinking about it, right, Carson? We can all figure out probably what she thinks is happening, which is what she's thinking happening is who's the girl, why is this going on? And I want to find out if that's true or not. So I need to empty head, clear out. Victoria, though, definitely Victor. And also, hey, Susan, he loves you. Oh, I'm supposed to say that. That's nothing to do with Victoria. Relax the mind. Well, first off, he's not telling you because he's annoyed. I think it's control. I find it to be control method. Let me see if there's another female at work. No, but I think this guy has an ability to, I don't even know what the modern word is. There's so many modern words to this. Is this a gaslighting situation? Gaslighting is when you make someone mistrust themselves, right? But you're still communicating with them somehow. I don't know my modern terms. I think that it's a control issue. I think he likes to keep you on your toes. I think that I don't think there's anyone around, but maybe he wants you to think that. Let me see why he'd want you to think that. Something from 2 or 3 years ago, Victoria, were you with him then? Does he have a past of that situation? I think it's control. That's the answer they're giving me about it. The reason he's doing this is control. It's none of your business. I think I would start praying for transparency with this one. I think I would make a demand in your soul, this idea of hey, I like Marty, but you know what my requirement with Marty is that Marty starts telling me everything that's going on. I would do that as a silent prayer for a couple of weeks and see if that energy doesn't come, because we want Marty now. Maybe reverse psychology. I can't believe I'm going this way, but obviously the energy of me even wanting to go tit for tat and be like, okay, how can you use reverse psychology, Victoria? Even me wanting to strategize like that, which I'm not doing on any other readings, lets me know that this is definitely a mental game. because I'm immediately wanting your mental mind to figure out how to beat him at his own game. And that's coming from somewhere. And I bet you can, because you're pretty smart. And yeah, I would start, I would let it go. I would I would ignore it for a minute. I would go into your own thing and say, okay, I get it. Little devil of control. Well, from this moment forward, Marty's control is now my big benefit. And let's see what happens when you stop asking and he doesn't able to use as control. Also, are you making him dinner? I don't know what this is about. Like, did we just make him something about how you cook? Either he loves you making dinner or he cooks you dinner. There's something about cooking dinner. Yeah. I do think that it's control. He probably likes to have a little edge of jealousy in there. Yeah. I don't get other female. I just don't find other female. This is all mental to me.
All right. And hopefully this does resonate with you, Victoria. We hope you...
It's a birthday, Victoria. We're supposed to say happy birthday, too.
And
so Victoria or Ken or someone, or Marty, excuse me, someone in there.
Somebody within this.
Yeah, anywhere dynamic. From September 30th through November 30th.
All right. All righty. And now that we are about 15-ish minutes, before we have to end, I do want to remind everybody that we are going to be switching to tarot for these last 10 minutes or so. And so we want to have everybody put in their tarot questions or for any card pulls that you're wanting. So either general, financial, career, love, or just general life path and destiny card pulls. But right before that, and while we wait for those questions to come in, I do want to remind everybody how you can continue the session today after we end in about 15-ish minutes. When you go to CaliforniaPsychics.com, you're going to search for one psychic today, and that psychic is Psychic Rika. She's right here on your screen. And to remember, you can use the code RIKA5 if you are a new customer with us to get $5 off your very first customer package with us. And why not do that or use that on your first reading with Psychic Rika? Whenever you click in the link, oh my God, tongue twisted. When you click the link in the description of the live stream you're watching right now, it will pull up Psychic Rika's profile right on California Psychics. Once you get to her profile, you have the ability to book an appointment, hop right into the queue for whenever she hops in on calls right after this live stream. And also you have the ability to send offline messages, which are just like direct messages on social media. So when you have a very quick question, Rika will be able to send you a real quick answer right back. But Rika, for those who want to hear you say it, when's that very next time you're going to be online? And what's your regular schedule looking like?
Okay, we have about 10 more minutes just because I'm going to get off 5 minutes early. I'm going to get on right after. I have to get 5 minutes early so I can log back on at 4 o'clock Pacific time and work for the next 3 hours till 7 o'clock tonight. I'm going to work tomorrow from 12 to 6, Wednesday from 11 to 6, and Thursday from 12 to 6. And in general, it's Monday 12 to 7, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday 12 to 6. And then Friday mornings, maybe 2 or 3 of them a month, I pop on at like 5 a.m. randomly and see whoever gets through in the first, in that hour.
Rika is one of our fan favorites as well. So make sure you hop in the queue if you are getting a reading today, because her queue is going to fill up very quickly. But we do have time for some tarot pulls if you are ready, Rika.
I'm ready.
All right, let's get through it. One from Krista, who is just asking for a general card today.
All right, let's see what a general thing would be. I guess what I'll do is a past, present, future with that. And I am very fluid with how I read. I'm like one of those persons that, collects 45 decks and started reading when I was a teenager. Now I'm older than you think. I guess I don't want to mention it now. Maybe I'm phasing out of talking about my age. That would be great. All right, Miss Krista. Krista's got great energy. Great energy of enterprise and entrepreneurship and some sort of like public success. Okay, past. Present, future. The past is the 5 of discs, which is called worry in this particular deck. In other decks, this could be called poverty or financial strain. Other decks, there's a picture of like people huddling through the snow. It always reminds me of like that show with Tiny Tim, Scrooge. going through the winter. So the past is really about the winter of your life and some sort of like security compromise or worry, whether that be financial, romantic, a security worry. Currently, you get the Two of Discs. So it looks like the security is changing. This is yin and yang. Two of Discs would be juggling a couple of things at one time. Like maybe you have two sources of income, or maybe you have your day situation, then you're working on that enterprise energy, or you really find that way to connect. Music just came out of her. So there's some energy of music connected. Of course, that could mean a lot of things. But there's some really beautiful energy like that working its way through you. So you're in the midst of a transition. I like to call it human revolution, where you're revolutionizing your own human nature for the future that you want. You're changing your cause and effect. So the worry is now taken place by this idea that I can change it. You can change it. The next card is the Ace of Wands, which is great. So it means the security transformation is going to connect with the fire, the energy, the project that can really take you to the next level. Crazy. As I also say that, there's music. They also talk about marriage for her is going to be happening in a few years. So you might be making some of those connections. My feeling is 2024 is going to be a year that you make all the connections. You connect with the future, like the future, such as who you might end up marrying. You might already be with them, of course, but who you might be marrying, your business, music, something to do with entrepreneurship, all those things. So it makes me think that 2024 takes you like 25 years in the future. So what's going to be happening next year is going to, last for a really super long time. And that security, I turned one more, the worry turns into gain. I love the Three of Discs, the Nine of Discs. I call it your ship is coming in. So congratulations, you're transforming the worry into a connection and your permanent ship coming in.
Now, I know Krista is a return viewer, so we really hope this message resonates with you. And if you are wanting to continue, remember, you can always reach Rika at CaliforniaPsychics.com. One from T. Also, yes, you do not have to compliment me in order to get a question, but
it worked. It helps.
It did. A life path card, life path and destiny card for T.
Okay, Carson is awesome, and Anyway, okay, all the cards fell out for you, T. Seriously, I was trying to shuffle. Right away, a card fell out, which was in the last. Just decided it wanted to be out still, so we'll go through that and many other cards. So let's look at these cards. This is your life path and destiny. Okay, so the card that fell out that was part of the last one was the Nine of Cups. It refused to go back in the deck. It's like, no, I won't be shuffled. And so we also get the Nine of Wands. And we get the Six of Cups. And we get the Prince of Swords. The Six of Cups is pleasure. This is all around happiness, happiness that's called success, happiness of family, happiness of career, of love. Like it's all around happiness. The Nine of Wands suggests that if you can dream it, you can have it. And when I think about belief, I think belief can be a hard word. I like the word no doubt better. To really believe is to have no doubt. So this idea that like, if belief makes you knock your head against the wall because you don't understand how you can get what you want, then drop the belief. You can get it after you get it. You can believe after. I mean, that's what faith is anyway. You get your stuff enough that you develop a faith, right? So you can gain faith after. And in fact, you could say, I really want to have faith. So I really need to connect to this outcome. And that's the Nine of Discs. So to me, I want you to know exactly who you are, exactly what you want. You can have it. Your destiny is mastership in front of people. I think you're a public speaker. If you think you're private, then you can do that, or you're home. But they said she's a public person. She's got skills that will pay the bills. She's got ability to put out like tapes or podcasts or things that change people's lives. I feel like you could help women. I think you could even help women that maybe even have children. I think you can help female entrepreneurship. I think you're a gift. They also put a ton of beauty around you. So this may have to do with your appearance or beauty. I'm going to call this the obstacle card because the rest of the cards are so beautiful. Your life destiny is so completely your own mastership. You create it. You built it. It's exactly what you want. It's an empire type of thing. Is the Prince of Swords. Again, it's the idea that here is this prince. In order for him to really move the chariot forward, he's got to slice down all the heavy weight. Going to slice down all the heavy weight of his mind or her mind. You know, you got to cut the cord of the mind that has you go, why, what, where, how come? No questions when you're on your path to this kind of greatness. There's no question. There's only one thought, determination. And how, you know, I will get there because I don't quit.
Exactly.
I will get there because I've got this power, this strength, and I've got a single-minded purpose, and that's my destiny. So she knows she's a queen already. I'm going to call this a validation reading and not a prediction, because she already knows. She just wanted to make sure she's on the right track. She got a grandpa on the other side. I think his name is an R, honey, or belongs to the letter R connection, but you got a grandpa helping you. I'm going to say it's your daddy's paw, or the hair. I'm going to say it's your grandpa's. It's a man helping you. You have a lot of heritage. You've got strong people. You can win.
All right. And we hope this resonates with you, T. We'll try to get one for Jeanette real quick. A future card in her doctorate. She's writing her dissertation. Do you think I will finish on time? So a future/career card for
Okay, well,
Jeanette.
I don't know when the time is, so I just have to say yes or no, although I was saying yes, but it's before next August, that's for sure, because you're complete by even July, they said. Let me just backtrack. Let me see what they're saying. Okay, yeah, we're going to pull a card for it. The answer is yes. Okay, but we're going to get a card to help. Correct. If it's February, yes. If it's May, yes. The answer is yes. Yes. Yes, and you will be an expert in your field, an expert. And if I don't know that I would need your services, but I want them. I want to come to you, whoever you are. Yes, you're an expert, and you would not lie to me. And I think you're gifted. I think you can help people with all states of mind. I hope you're helping people that have troubled minds. Prince of Wands is your card, and I love this one because it's like all fire forward. The chariot is moving. Any fears of the past are gone. Anything that gets in the way of your fire, burn it off. There's a favorite saying that I have for myself. And whenever there's a lot of like environmental stuff going on, and of course I feel everything, if I really need to focus and not pick up on so much stuff around me that would distract me, I say to myself, I sit in the fire, but I'm immovable. I sit in the fire, but I am not movable, which means I can sit there, the whole world can burn, but I'm here and we're moving and I'm not touched. I would burn that fire around you, Jeanette. Let's go. Of course you're going to get it done. We're just encouraging you. I would never tell you no. Not with your spirit. Right. Okay, that's it.
Rika has joined us for our full hour today, but Rika will be online in about 5 minutes on CaliforniaPsychics.com. So if you are wanting to continue the energy today, and if you are wanting to get any follow-up answers for anybody who did get questions answered today, CaliforniaPsychics.com, search up Psychic Rika, and that's how you'll continue. Also, you can just click the link in the description of the live stream you're watching right now. I want to thank everybody for joining us today, and an absolutely massive thank you, Rika, for all these answers. I can tell that they resonated with a lot of people, and they definitely impressed me. So this was an amazing live reading today.
This went so fast. It was an absolute joy. First time with Carson. It was great. Thank you so much. Susan, I love you. Lewis does too. And don't give up, everybody. Remember, the future is yours. Be the protagonist. Let's work this phenomenal world, mystical world. It's our world. We live and die. It's your world. It's not outside of you. The universe isn't doing anything outside of you. It's you.
Okay. Well put, Rika. Thank you, everybody. Bye. And we will be back in 2 weeks with Psychic Chip. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. And once again, if you are wanting to continue the live stream or the live reading for yourself, once again, CaliforniaPsychics.com with Psychic Rika. Thank you, and bye-bye.